MotoGP Unlimited, the documentary that for many people, including journalists, every single website on the planet, apart from ours, and lots of fans all called it and compared it to Drive to Survive, which I don't know if that probably affected their original opinion of it by that comparison. But anyway, it was released on Monday, a behind-the-scenes look at the 2021 MotoGP Championship from a point of view that we don't get to see usually on the TV. It's, you know, behind the closed doors. If you've not seen any of the episodes, it's available on Amazon in most countries. And yeah, it was immediately, for some, I didn't understand this reaction, to be honest, guys. I can understand it, but I didn't understand the level of hysteria because it was recorded and some parts of the documentary are not in English. So as a documentary maker, what do you do if you made a documentary and like half of it's in Spanish and Italian? You're going to have to find a way around that for your English-speaking audience, aren't you? Yeah. So anyway, Amazon decided it would be good to dub those non-English speaking parts. I watched the first 4 episodes on Monday morning at like 4 a.m. because I'd stayed up all night, and it was not for that, but it was just up. So from my point of view, I mean, I wasn't particularly looking forward to it, no offense, but it was just a thing that I knew was coming out. And when I went on Amazon, it was there on the front page, on the home page, and I thought, oh, that's the thing. I wrote, yeah, it reminded me, because I didn't even know it was out that day. So I clicked on it, watched the first 4 episodes, and I wasn't even slightly bothered by the slightly dodgy dubbing. It literally translated the stuff that I wouldn't have known into English. And if it was in just writing, what do you call them, subtitles, I wouldn't have watched it. I would have thought, nah, can't be bothered with this. So yeah, I'm one of the very few people, it seems, that actually didn't mind the dubbing. Yes, there were some slightly dodgy edits, and maybe the voiceover voice didn't match the original speaker's voice. But the level of hysteria that some MotoGP freelance journalists talked about it. Oh, it's destroying MotoGP. Is the brand ruined? Asks a few people. I won't name names because they know what they did. I think that level of heat and hysteria added to everybody else's or influenced a lot of other negativity from other people, and then everyone piled on and thought, oh, this is absolute crap. I'm not listening to something in English. How dare you? That's all. Anyway, I could go on a big rant.
That was a nice little rant there, Lester.
Thank you. But I just didn't understand. The actual documentary was pretty good. I've only seen the first 4 episodes. I'm going to watch the other 4 later. It's a total of 8. But, I mean, I read some of the comments on the Amazon. Oh, this is badly dubbed. This is hysterical. This is terrible, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, the actual content. I mean, okay, so some people didn't like the dubbing. Fine, okay. But the actual documentary, it didn't portray anything that wasn't already happening. It didn't skew a perspective. It wasn't like Drive to Survive. Oh, and by the way, with everybody calling it Drive to Survive, every website on the planet, not ours, and every journalist, and every single media outlet calling it Drive to Survive. Do you know who didn't ever compare it to Drive to Survive? Do you know who didn't ever say Drive to Survive? Amazon, MotoGP, Dorna, all the production company who made it. They never, ever, ever said those words. And you can check, because I did, on the Monday morning when I had a few hours, because I was bored, and I was raging. I thought, this is actually not bad. It's not a bad documentary. Anyway, so I didn't quite understand why everybody started running and expecting it and comparing it to being Formula One's Drive to Survive when they never intended it publicly to be. I
wouldn't want to compare to Drive to whatever it is, Drive to Survive anyway, because MotoGP is an entertainment sport and Formula One isn't. So why would I compare it?
Yes. Well, anyway, everybody, the fact is, I think everyone was just building it up. I mean, the documentary, I don't think, and again, a reason why I thought it was pretty good is because I knew straight away it wasn't probably intended for the hardcore MotoGP English-speaking audience. It was for maybe the casual viewer, the people who
they want to get more people involved. They want to get that person from the outside.
Exactly.
Looking in, basically.
People who wouldn't really mind having slightly iffy dubbed behind the scenes look at, Valentino's last season in MotoGP, or listening to a rider apologise to his team and grovelling about how he threw it in his bike at the wall in a race. That sort of stuff is the content of the show. And I've heard people say now that they've seen those episodes without that dubbed audio in it, suddenly the documentary is a lot better. Well, guess what? It was still the same documentary, guys.
Yeah.
It hasn't changed.
Yeah. I watch it, yeah. I'm not going to lie. I need to renew my Amazon account. So, but I'll be watching it, and I'm sure I will enjoy it. So at the end of the day, if coming back from Spain, I had to watch them Spanish TV while I was in my hotel room, and they have to listen to it that way. I mean, it's not like
in English
when they make it. No, they have to do it the other way. So, like a film that is made in English, they have to put Spanish people speaking over it.
All the rest of the world.
I actually said to the miss, so does Mark seen in it? Clearly he doesn't. They just put some voices over the top of it, don't they?
Well, I think most of what you said, you were breaking up then. Maybe we should have got you dubbed. But yeah. You make a great point, Jay, for once, unusually.
No, thank you.
Even in Spain, and other countries, just because we're used to having things in pristine English, there was one MotoGP elitist journalist who was decrying the fact that we couldn't necessarily hear riders talking in their mother tongue. We had to, for a few hours, listen to a badly dubbed voiceover. Well, by their very definition and nature, dubbed programs are never perfect because it's always like a second-hand version of and then never, so it's, yeah, but anyway.
Like you said, if it was subtitles, I probably would have got fed up and would have turned off because...
Yeah, another reason
I'm not here to read a lesson, am I? I'm here to watch a documentary.
Exactly. So, I mean, I get that some people, they like to listen to that and read it and be fully, but there's people saying what you're saying about me on my phone. But yeah, another reason why I was a little aggrieved is because at the time when those journalists who influenced so many other people's opinion of the documentary, and I am going to stand up for Dorna and the documentary makers, because it seemed like an initial distribution issue or an issue whereby on the Monday and I think Tuesday afternoon, you couldn't necessarily select from English into its original thing. But those journalists knew that when they published their diatribe article, because they included it at the very bottom of the thing. Oh, well, we understand, or we've been told, or insiders say, because they always like to say, oh, well, I've got someone on the inside here at Amazon. They'd probably just chatbox Amazon or something and ask them, when will this not be in English? Because I'm dying to watch this so I can complain about it not being in English. Or something like that, I'd imagine is what they say. But yeah, they actually knew that any technical problems they were complaining about were being fixed, but they still went ahead and slagged it off and complained about it anyway. Don't even know how they still got past, to be honest. Anyway, sorry, rant over.